Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In the today's video, I am going to continue our last tutorial. As you can see, into the last tutorial, up to this tutorial, you can see that we have created completely login, registration and as well as logout module also we have created. So here you can see that after successful login, you can see that we are navigated to the home page, and into the home page, as you can see, we have added the dummy data at that point, you can say at that table. But now in the today's tutorial we are going to create the module like adding the employee, that is only registered or only logged in user can add the employee data into that website. Such a type of the logic or such a type of the code we are going to create. So here you can see that before that, as you can see, I have to change the navigation bar. That is, you can see that into the nav bar, you can see that into the previous tutorials we have get the session of the user, and you can see that into the similar way I am going to you can see that duplicate the link. You can see that li link, as I have created the dynamic logout link. Into the similar way I have to create the add employee link also. That is, you can see that only the logged in user can only add the data, add the employee, you can see that into the table, as you can see. And here I have created this link, you can see that. Now you can see that now I have to create, you can see that add employee.jsp page, as you can see, which I have mentioned into the navigation bar, add emp.jsp. and into that page I am going to create a you can see that form which will accept the details of the employee which are going to be, which have to be stored into the database, or you can see that which have to be you can see that employee data we have to store. So here you can see that before that, first of all, let me extend the files, you can see that, which is the base.jsp file. That the file, you can see that in which we have added the bootstrap, and another file is, you can see that which is the navigation bar navbar file. You can see that into the similar way I am going to add the @include file equal to navbar.jsp, that is navigation bar also I have added to this page, as you can see, add employee page. Now you can see that I am going to that page, you can see that, and here you can see the navigation bar is added, you can see that into that add emp.jsp page. And here I am going to create the create the form, as you can see, addition form for the adding the details of the employee. So I am taking the draw class, as you can see, and into the column I am going to given as column 10 width column I have given, which is bootstrap class. As I said, as we have created into the register.jsp page, that is, as we have created into the register module, we are going to use the same form structure here also we are going to same form structure. So let me copy all the code, as you can see, whatever code we have created into the registration form. So here you can see that into the add emp, you can see that I have added the structure, that is card structure, as you can see, which we have previously created in the in case of the register, while making the registration form. Into the similar way, similar structure, you can see that card structure, that is into the card body I am going to create the form that is to register the to add the employee. So let me change the title of that form, as you can see, add employee, which I have written here. And let me take the form tag, as you can see. Into the form tag, let's complete that form tag. And here you can see that into the form we have to give some data from the user, that is what data. So let me you can see that, let me get that code from registration.jsp page itself. As you can see what I have got here. Here you can see that Here I have given a input field, and you can see that two input field I have given, where I just changing the label. As you can see, enter employee name, then second one is enter employee email. Here employee data we are going to store, so that I am going to just changing that. So into the similar way, as you can see, employee name, email, gender, and whatever the data which we have to be display, that is mobile number, address, employee qualification, that you have to add, that much data, that much input field I have given. And let me run this, and let me show the output, whatever it looks like. So that page I am going to, you can see that this page is looking like this. As you can see, add employee page, that is there is a name, email id, gender, and mobile number, address, and qualification fields are there. So you can say that to make that form into the center, I have to add the justify content center, which is the bootstrap class. And here you can see that I am going to change the column width also, that is to the 8, so that it looks great. So here you can see that in front of you it get appear into the center, as you can see. And column width also I have changed, so that it looks better now. And here you can see that at the end, you can see that at the end of that form we have to add the button. You can see that to submit the details, to get the details. So let me create a button here, and which is the submit type of the button. So I am going to write as a submit, and let me add it, let me write as a name as add, or let me give it as a save. Bootstrap class I am going to add, which is btn primary I am going to given here. And let me, you can see that into the output, you can see that the button is going to be appear here. So we have created the add employee form, only design of the add employee form we have created. So now we have to create the logic behind this, that is we have to create the servlet which adds the data to the database, that is employee table. Employee name table we have to create, that we haven't create yet, as you can see. So you can see that before creating the entity, that is employee entity, we are going to create the table. You can see that that we haven't created yet. MySQL table you have to create. So let's go to the MySQL PHP MyAdmin, as you can see. And into that, let me open our database. As you can see, into our database, you can see that only user table we have created for the login and registration module. But now here I am going to create a new table, and let me give the name to that table as employee. Employee name table is there. So whatever the fields I am accepting, that much things I have to store into the database. So by according to this, I am going to create the database table. So first of all, very first field, it should be the employee ID, which is the primary key of the table. You can see that, and which is automatically incremented from the one, that is I am going to check that auto increment checkbox. Next one table is next one column name is employee name, which is I am going to give one varchar 100. Next one is employee email, which is also I am giving as a varchar 100. And you can see that remaining, you can see that it is the employee qualification after employee address, which is also varchar 100 I am going to given here. So let me, you can see that I have created the column names here, and let's click on save. Yes, table name which is the employees, you can, as you can see, and let's click on save button, and as you can see, by our specified fields, you can see that the employee table is going to be created in front of us. As you can see, now we have to create the entity. So let me create the new class, which is employee entity I have to create, as we have created the database. So create a new class, and just name it as employees, and into that class I have to declare the variables. That is, I am going to declare the variable, whatever the variable we have created into the database, that is private integer employee ID, which is our first field, and then for a private string, you can see that employee name, emp name I have given. And into the similar way, as you can see, I have just declared that variable, and by making use of that variable I am going to create the constructor. First of all, let me create an empty constructor, that is from the super class, and then constructor using fields. I have selected all that fields and created the constructor, and then generate constructor using fields and accept the employee ID, which is automatically incremented, so that no need to give it in that, and getters and setters for our fields we have to create. Click on generate, and in this way you can see that we have successfully created the employee entity. You can see that to accept the data from the user for the adding the employee in our database. So now I'm going to create a method to save the data of the employee, that is path. You can see that employee DAO, you can see that I am going to create an employee DAO class I am going to create, and into that class I am going to create a method such that which you can see that which saves the employee object into the database. So here also we have to import the SQL package of the Java, import java.sql.star, and here I have to declare the variable which is the connection variable, and here also I have to create the constructor using that variable which is the connection variable. So let me create it, and here you can see that here we have to create the method to save the data of the employee into the database. So which takes the argument, you can see that which takes the argument of the employee object, that is employee entity. So let me write here, you can see that employee entity, employees emp I have given, and you can see that here exception can be caught, so that I am going to add the try catch block here, exception e, and I have to print a stack trace also. Here you can see that, and here you can see that here now I am going to create the query for inserting the data into the database. Whatever data I want to insert, that is insert into the table name, which is table name is employees, and what data we have to insert is, you can see that, which is the employee name, email ID, you can see that gender, you can as mobile number, address, employee qualification. As you can see that data we have to add, and here you can see the values which are initially are the placeholders. Values are you can see that question marks here into this string, and we then replace that with the actual values. So let me create the, you can see, let me create the prepare statement object by make use of that query, that prepare statement psmt equal to connection dot prepare statement and by making use of that query. So now here I am going to replace the value of the placeholder, that is psmt dot set string, and the first parameter is, you can see that at the first parameter one I am going to set the value of, you can see that employee name which I extracted from the employee object, you can see that, which is going to be as a parameter to our method. That is at the first, you can see that at the first placeholder I am going to replace the value of the employee name that you can see, which is the parameter of our method, which is save employee method. And in the similar way I am going to make it for all the six placeholders, as you can see. Now I am going to execute that query, execute update, and so here you can see that we have successfully created method actually, but one thing is that how do we confirm that we have saved the data. So for that purpose I am going to create a boolean variable, that is boolean flag variable I am going to create, and which value is initially false, and here you can see that, and which is written by this our method, the save employee method. So public boolean save employee, that I am going to write here, and that method returns that flag, whatever the value in it, that we going to return it. And after executing, you can see that after execute update, after executing that query, that flag value is going to be true if and only if all the work has been done, if and only if the data is going to be stored, and then only their method returns the flag value true, otherwise it is a false, as you can see. So if it is a false, there is should be some error, and if it is a true, our data is going to be inserted. Okay, so now I am going to create the servlet, that is add employee servlet. So let me create a new class into the servlet package, name it as add employee servlet, add employee servlet, and click on finish. And here into the, you can see that here I have to extend that class to the HTTP servlet which we have you can see that which we have used. And here also I am going to create a one method, that is public void do post method, that is as we are accepting the form data from the post method. So and that method, you can see that we takes the argument as a argument HTTP servlet request, instance of the HTTP servlet request, and HTTP servlet response. Response.set content type equal to text/html, that is as we are sending the data into the HTML format and in the response. And to print the data into the web browser, I am going to create the create the object of the print writer to print the data onto the web browser, as you can see. And here I am going to accept all the data from the HTML form, that is I am going to create a variable name as a name, and by making the request dot get parameter method I am going to got that name here from the you can see the add employee.jsp. So here you can see that to the input field of the name, you can see that the name attribute to the input field is txt name, and for the email is txt email, and for the gender is name is email. So by making use of that name attribute, I am going to accept it into the servlet. So string email equal to request dot get parameter, and into the similar way you can see that I have got that you can see that got that values into the servlet. So now our work is that I have to create the employee object of the employee entity, so that you can see that we can we have created the constructor. As you can see, to the constructor we have successfully added that values that we have accepted from the HTML form. Here you can see that employee entity object we have created. The all the data is going to be stored into that emp object, that is entity object, employee type variable. And now I am going to create the employee, you can see that instant object of the employee DAO to call the save employee method. So that you can, that object get the connection, that is connection provided or get connection I have done. And here by make use of the employee object, I am going to call the save employee method, and parameter to that save employee is the object of the employee entity to which we have saved all the data which we have accepted, as you can see. And out.println to confirm that, out into the confirm that, I am going to write as a out.println data saved successfully, to know that whether the data is going to be saved or not. For that purpose only I am going to write here. So now you can see that we have created the DAO method also, we have created the entity, and we have created the servlet also. So now you can see that this was the add employee form also we have created. So we have to register our servlet to the web.xml deployment descriptor. Until and unless we haven't you can see that register our servlet to the web.xml deployment descriptor, our servlet won't work, as you can see. So you have to be register your servlet to the web.xml deployment descriptor, so that I am going to register it. So into the servlet and the servlet mapping tag, as you can see, you have to register our servlet. So servlet class here in my case here, which is I have created, which is the add employee servlet, which is the class, and here fully classified name of the class you should write here. And here you can see that servlet name, which is the add emp I have given, and URL pattern is I am going to given as add emp slash add emp. Let's save this file, and into the form tag you have to write the action. Into the action attribute you have to write add emp, that is, as you can see, as it is the add servlet. Let me run this form and let me see. So while running this, as you can see, the form will be appear. You can see that into the form tag you have to write the action attribute, and into the action attribute you have to give an add emp, and the method of the form you have to write before running it. As you can see, method equal to post, that is, as we have accepted the data from the post method, which is the secure method, as you can see. So we have we got the action, and also we got a method also. So now I am going to run this program, run this add employee.jsp page, and now I am going to add the data into the that form, whatever the data I am going to add. Let me add it, and then we will see whether the data is going to be inserted or not. As you can see, qualification, suppose I am going to write as MCS, and as soon as I click on save button, the data should be go to the inserted to the database. So let me see whether it is or not. When I click on, as you can see, when I click on save button, it says that data saved successfully. So in this way we have successfully added the data into the database. So let me refresh the employee table. Here you can see that, and into that you can see that the data whatever we have added, it should be the reflected here. As you can see, it is reflected here. As you can see, this was the data which we have added from the HTML form added to our system. Okay, so in this way you can see that we have successfully created the add employee module, as you can see. and that data should be reflected to index.jsp page into the table that we will be seeing into the next video.